Hey, this is Jess coming at you from Hero Born Stitches in the middle of nowhere, Kansas, where it is disrespectfully hot. I'm talking 106, 107 degrees Fahrenheit. I haven't done the calculation for Celsius, but I will, and I'll pop it on the screen. Yeah, it's bad. It's bad hot here right now. So the hounds of Baskerville are inside. Fully expect dog interruptions today. And also my husband is out for a ride on his motorcycle. So if you hear an ungodly loud Harley in the background pulling in, that's what that is. So I am a complete hot mess today. Not just hot, but hot mess. So much so that I almost didn't even record. But then given the chaos that I have laying around me here, I knew that next week would be impossible if I did not record today and get some of this stuff gone through. So here I am. So welcome to anybody who is new following my WIP Parade. I had a good number of new subscribers, which is always super cool and exciting. Thank you for all of the kind comments. Thank you for the feedback. I've never done a WIP Parade before like that, so it was a task and it was completely exhausting. But yeah, so I did it, so it's there. So anyone who is new, welcome. I'm glad you decided to join me. Anyone who is coming back, welcome back. Always glad to have you here. We have so much stuff to do today. That is why I'm recording. So much stuff. I have 11 WIPs to show you. I am showing you the stuff pretending like you didn't see the WIP Parade, I guess. There are some things that have stitches on them since the WIP Parade, and some of them that just have stitches on them since my last regular FlossTube update. But you probably saw the progress in the WIP Parade anyway. I'm going to try to go through them kind of quickly. So 11 WIPs to show you, including one new start. I have some things I've decided to UFO, so I am going to talk to you guys about that in a little bit. I have been the recipient of some Stitchy Kindness, so I would like to share that with you as well. And oh, do we have haul. I think I have single-handedly decided it is my responsibility to keep stitching shops healthy, financially healthy. And so I've got a lot, and I have more to come, and we will kind of talk about that when we get to that haul section. And then of course we're going to go into plans. I do have a new Stitchy game that I am going to be rolling out soon. So kind of stay tuned to the end for that. I'm going to do a whole separate video for that, I think. I was going to kind of include it today and then also do the video, but we just have way too much to do today. But a new Stitchy game, which I hope you guys will consider joining in with me, and I think it should be fun. And we'll kind of talk about that near the end. And I've got, in addition to some cross stitch, I've got a little bit of a knitting update, not much, and some quilty update situations, kind of some sewy maybe update situations that we will kind of roll into near the end. And I'll kind of give you forewarning before I move off of cross stitch, if that's really what you're here for. Okay, so with that, let's get started. Okay. First, I want to get started off with Stitchy Kindness. Like I said, I have been the recipient of some wonderful, wonderful, amazing Stitchy Kindness here since I recorded my last FlossTube update, mainly from the friends I have, my Night Owl friends from the Round Robin group that Jason X Stitches put together. A couple of them are physical, a couple of them are not. So first of all, let's start with the physical stuff. So my friend Amy sent me a surprise package I wasn't even expecting it. I think they're things that I know they're things that she words. It's too early to be having trouble with words. Things that she intended to include in the last package. And she's in the middle of rearranging her crafting room and all of that, and just ran across them. So I got this amazing surprise package from Amy. And included in there was this kit. Like, it's all kitted out. This Teresa Wensler kit for the Guardian. She had 2. And if you remember when she sent me the chart for the Storyteller by Teresa Wensler, I said something about how I like maybe didn't understand or something. I mean, I thought she had said that she had 2 charts, I think, from the Storyteller and 2 kits from the Guardian. And I thought, anyway, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But look at this. Look at this. How good is that? I'm trying to avoid the glare here. I mean, it's a Teresa Wensler, so it's gonna be a beast, but I could not be more excited. This went immediately on my Milestone Manor wheel, and will be assigned to a room at some point, but I think I might have to have other stitchy plans associated with that. So we'll see. But yeah, the whole thing, kitted up, fabric, all the floss, everything. So thank you so much, Amy. What an absolutely, absolutely amazing gift. So thank you. Also in the package, she included Patriotic Tiny Town by Heart and Hand. And I am a big Tiny Town fan, so thank you very, very much for this also. Unfortunately, I do have this chart already. I am a Tiny Town collector. I haven't stitched any of them yet, but I'm going to have to rectify that. So now I have 2 of these charts. So near the end of the video, I am going to go ahead and do a giveaway for this and some gift cards to celebrate a milestone for me anyway. And so if you are interested in this, kind of stay tuned because we'll do that giveaway a little bit later. But yes, thank you so much, Amy. That was so thoughtful and so appropriate for this time of year. And I love it. I love it. And it's really making me realize that I 100% need to get into my Tiny Town collection. Because when I went through to try to confirm that what I believed to be true, that I actually had the chart already, I was like, whoo, I got a lot of Tiny Towns. And they're little. So they should go pretty quick, right? Anyway, thank you. Stay tuned for a giveaway for this later and some gift cards. On top of that, Amy, amazing friend, after watching my WIP Parade, she reached out, or maybe she did before, I can't remember. But she reached out at some point when she was hearing me talk about Angel Moonlight and how it's a paper chart, and I have really struggled to get it into any stitching software, and trying to stitch full coverage off of a paper chart, especially one that is very poorly charted with those circles and octagon issues. Don't even get me started. Anyway, she had heard me ramble on about that, and she reached out and she said, hey, if you don't mind shipping it to me, she's not going to stitch it. She's like, if you'll ship it to me, I'll put it in markup RXP for you. Why, yes, thank you. So I did get it all shipped out to her. She got it all put up in RXP, which is going to play into the haul too. I'm going to make myself a little note here. I just scribbled some notes of things I wanted to talk about. So that's getting added to it. But yeah, so thank you. And so now it's very easily stitchable. So thank you. I am so appreciative of that. And she did another chart for me too. She also did the Christmas Serenity as well as she could. It didn't go in super cleanly, but much, much improved. So making my stitchy life easier. Thank you, Amy. And then Erin, my other night owl buddy, after watching my WIP Parade, heard me talking about that piece that I have I want to say like 80% done, 90% done, but I do not have the pattern for anymore. And she went out and she located the pattern. I don't know what kind of black magic she has with the Google search. I was kind of on a train. I had it on pretty good authority for my searching that, I want to say drawn thread or something, like, I don't know. I'll find it. I'll put it up here. Whoever designed it. But I had on pretty good authority that the drawn thread or something like that had designed it. And I was going to reach out to them to see if I could get a copy from them. But she found it and sent it. So thank you so much, Erin. I don't know what kind of magic you worked, but to you too. Thank you. So now I have the chart and I'm good to go. And so that is quickly moving up the list of old WIPs to be worked on so I can get that done and taken care of. And it's a huge load off my mind. So I'm going to take a quick minute here real quick to remind you about my little side project, the Stitchy Kindness project. It is a group up on Facebook. I will have the link below. We have grown a little bit in members, but we're still sitting a little bit under 35. It is just really a place where stitchers can make wishes and grant wishes. So if there's anything you're wishing for, anything you're looking for, an old chart that's out of print, anything like that, put it on up there and hopefully somebody else will be able to find it, or just anything that you're wishing for. I did a little video. It feels very robotic every time I go back and look at it, but I'll link it below too. It has its own little channel also. But yeah, come join me over on Facebook. If you're at all interested, I'd love to see that grow because this community is just amazing. So yeah, check that out if you're at all interested. Okay, let's get to WIPs. It's God knows how long. And let's get to WIPs. Okay, like I said, I did have a new start. I could not resist starting my new full coverage piece for Milestone Manor that is sitting in my foyer. I am going to clean up like my house blueprint thing. I don't think it probably matters to anyone, maybe except me, but I was real quick trying to put that together and I need to clean it up a little bit. But anyway, if anyone is really interested in seeing a blueprint of my house, let me know. But yeah, so I could not resist and I got it started. So I had rolled for this at my WIP parade, because at the end of the WIP parade, I went through my new plans like for maybe the next year. Who knows? Things always change. But I had rolled, figured out what project is in the foyer, had selected a final destination, which is the garage for Milestone Manor, just getting on the Milestone Manor train, and had rolled my first die roll. So the project was the Tree of Life, artwork by William Morris of like William Morris Designs, who is amazing. I love everything William Morris. And this was charted out by, I don't know whether to say July or Julie, but it's Jully, crossStitch, up on Etsy. So I don't know whether that's like July with 2 L's or Julie, but it's Jully, crossStitch on Etsy. And I will link her shop down below. And this is what it will look like when it is done. Just a beautiful William Morris design, you know. And I am a blues and greens girl, really, for the most part, so absolutely speaks to my soul. And it only has 32 colors. So and it's not very big. It's not. So I was just like, 32 colors. How much confetti can there be with 32 colors? And I started stitching. And I got to the flower, the first little flower at the top here. And the design said, hey, Jess, hold my beer. Let me show you how much confetti you can have with 32 colors. So I am doing this with CXC floss on 28 count easy grid fabric. I was going to do it on 25 because it is not a very big design. Like when I say it's not a big design, I'll show you. So this is the full piece that I will need with 3-inch margins all around on 28 count. So as far as full coverage goes, it's not huge. It's not that big. If I were responsible and not a hot mess, I would have the exact number of stitches for you and the number of stitches I did and all of that good stuff, but I do not. Didn't quite make it on the little scribble notepad today. But yeah, so I started it. And with my first roll, I owe this piece, before I can move on to the front room, 1,200 stitches. I really don't know how much that is. I really, top of my head, do not know how much I have done. There is a shocking amount of confetti in those little flowers for 32 colors. Shocking. But that's okay. That's fine. So this is not my first time working with CXC floss, because I am using CXC for Snape's Library. And I think that's also on 28 count. And I think this is why this is on 28 count, because I had planned, kind of thought 25 because it's not very big. And then I had this scrap of Easy Grid, and I thought it was 28, and I was like, I might as well measure it out just to see if it's big enough. And it was just perfectly big enough. And I even have a little piece on the bottom I can start the other ornament with that I cut off. So it worked great. So it's just like 28 it is. So the only other thing that I have done full coverage on 28 count is the Santa at the North Pole ornament by Scott Gustafson that I started. And we'll talk about that in a little bit, because that's like a WIPGO back call that I am needing to get to. But and I really didn't find that doing one strand full cross on 28 was too much. But that was with DMC. Now this is CXC, which I know blooms a little bit more. And full cross over one on 28 count with CXC seems to be, to me, very much like doing 2 strands on 25 count of DMC. Just a little bit much. I know I don't have very much going. I'm not going to restart it. It's fine, except when I hit those heavy confetti areas, like those flowers there. So I am using cross-stitch Meadows, 3 by 3 diagonal method. Just started out, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. Now I started a little bit wonky on the Easy Grid, which is, I'm going to be fighting for the entire piece, but that's okay. I just need to get my mind there. And I have made so many stinking counting mistakes. I ended up having to take some out and put some back in, but however many that is, like I have bled over into the next diagonal a little bit. Just decided, I think I'll use the word feather, because Jessie Marie uses the word feather. She feathers. I think that's a much nicer way of saying it than bled into the other diagonal. So I could guess that's 300, 400, 500. I'm guessing this is about 550 stitches, maybe up, because of the amount of feathering I did. Maybe a little bit more than that. Maybe up to 700, maybe. I still have some work to do for Milestone, but yeah, so I got it started. Super happy to do it. It was fun, and it's a learning thing. My other thing about the CXC is it does seem to, and I don't know if I'm the only one who has this problem, it does seem to knot a little bit more than DMC does. So, I mean, I'm not using long strands or anything, but I think I'm going to use thread conditioner going forward, because I think it will just make my life easier if I do. So yeah, so if time allows, expect some of that next week also, if not, whenever I get to it, because new plans, Milestone Manor is fantastic because it's no pressure, just whenever I get to it. Okay. The next thing to go through is the temperature stitching pieces, the finishing up of the temperature stitching. I have had a couple weeks that I have not brought you a regular video. I am just about ready to like sneeze or something, because we had company and there was no way I could do it. And then I filmed the WIP Parade. So at the time of the WIP Parade, I had all the temperature stitching done sans one piece. So just in case you didn't see the WIP Parade, I'm going to run through the end of those temperature stitching pieces really quickly. So the first one is the progress I made on, now I'm thinking, did I have the other one finished? I guess I should have brought that. I'll put a picture of the finished piece up here. Anyway, the Christmas elves, the little sachet kits. So this is what they will look like when they're done. And I did not bring the one that was finished. I finished the little female elf. I'll put a picture of her up here because I didn't bring her with me and it's way across the house and I'll be tripping over dogs. And I got a really good start on the little reindeer with the stitches I had left to do for temperature stitching. So yeah, like I said in my WIP Parade, as far as old WIPs goes, this is really probably at the top of the list because there are not many stitches left to finish this, and I can get it kind of off my WIP list and try to figure out how I'm fully finishing them, which I'm terrible at, but yeah. So that was temperature stitching. That was new since my last regular update. The next piece I am so geeked about, and it's Princess and the Pea by Hickory Hollow. That kit, I'm sorry, was for WIPGO or something like that. And it's just 18 count Aida formed into these little sachets with all the kit materials, ingredients, whatever you want to call it. Okay, Hickory Hollow, Princess and the Pea, Hickory Hollow. This is what it will look like when it's done. This I started forever ago. And through temperature stitching, yes, I got enough stitches to finish up all the back stitch from everything you see. And even, I think I had like 200 stitches or something like that left. And I started the next little mattress or quilt or coverlet, whatever it is, down there. So that was a super happy day. Super, super happy day. I just wanted to dance. So yeah, that's what the whole piece looks like right now. And it is also very high on the old WIP list to get finished here soon. It has been hanging around far too long. So this is just like kind of an off-white, a cream-colored Aida. I don't know what kind it is, but it's super soft, and not just because it's been around for, I don't even want to think about how many years. Oh yeah. I'm not doing that math. With just DMC and some Bulger blending filament for the sparkly bits. So yeah, that was very cool to be able to get all of that done. Latitude was the other temperature stitching piece that I haven't shown on a regular FlossTube update since I did the stitches, and I owed this some for catch-up stitching, and I just worked in this area here. This big ass motif right in there in the center. And like I said, all three of these stitches were done before I did my WIP Parade. So there's nothing new since the WIP Parade on this. So this is being done on 28 count Tornado by Fox and Rabbit. Latitude by Long Dog Samplers with Silks for You PR9, which is just this very nice green. And yes, it's going to be mammoth because it's on 28 count. So yeah, so those were the temperature stitching pieces. I haven't shown on a regular FlossTube update. The only temperature stitching that I had to finish up when I filmed the WIP Parade was 'Twas the Month of May by Modern Folk Embroidery. And I had 400 more stitches to do, and I got them in. So this is what it will look like when it's done. And as you can see, I did something a little bit different with it. I sort of reversed the color scheme a little bit. So I'm stitching this on 36 count Cherry Cobbler by Roxy Floss Co. with Gilded, also by Roxy Floss Co. And those 400 stitches absolutely finished up that top border. Maybe I'll pop above if I haven't been doing it. I don't know. Where it was last time you saw it, like on a regular FlossTube update. So those 400 stitches definitely finished off that top border and brought down the border on this side. And I did a little bit on that side too. I wasn't trying to make them even. It just kind of worked out that way. I mean, they're not exactly even, but they're pretty darn close. I'm not going to, next time I stitch on this, I don't think I'm going to continue with the border. I don't know, I might. I really don't mind stitching the border on this at all. It's actually really fun. And I'm doing one strand of Gilded over 2 threads on the 36 count here. Yeah. So yeah, I was able to get that done. So temperature stitching is all done now. All of that old temperature stitching is done. So that's fun. Now we're on to the new plans and the sparkle stitches and all of that good stuff. Okay, I had to take a quick break because I was hearing a weird sound in the kitchen. We have one of those bins that is like motion detector. It had that motion detection thing. So you just like wave in front of it and it opens on its own. Very bougie bin. And it was opening and closing, and I know my son was in there. He apparently put, anyway, you don't want to hear about my trash. Anyway, next thing we have to talk about is SALs or stitch-alongs. So, let's see. I think I have 5 sitting in front of me. A couple of them have new stitches since, I don't even know what has new, a couple of them have new stitches since the WIP Parade. I can't remember exactly what. So we're just gonna, if I remember while I'm talking about them, I'll show them to you. The first one is the stitch along that the Fat Quarter Shop is doing right now. It's called the Jolly Tree Farm. It's one of their free mystery stitch alongs. They do them every year. Over the summer, they have one that is Christmas related and one that is like sometimes Halloween, sometimes autumnal. It just kind of flip-flops back and forth. So if I'm remembering correctly, I had like the first part done last time I showed this to you. I might have had the first 2 parts. I'm not entirely sure. But I have parts 1 through 4 finished. I don't really have a picture of what the whole thing looks like done yet because the last part has yet to come out. But as far as I can remember and see in my photographic record, this is what it looked like last time you saw it. And this is where we're at now. I'm going to kind of fold it back a little bit here. So this is not big at all, clearly. That is 4 weeks worth of stitching. So this was part 1, part 2, part 3 with these 2 stars, and then part 4, which just came out this week. And then part 5 is just the border, and then it is done. So these are not very labor intensive at all. I am doing this on 32 count Lugana Dirty Snow by Fiber on a Whim with just the called for Classic Colorworks, and I love the way it looks on this fabric. This, if it was done on 14 count Aida or 28 count linen, is 4 by 4.5 inches by 4.5 inches finished, to give you an idea of how small it is. And so this fabric is huge for it. I have this fabric for days after this. But yeah, so the border comes out this coming week. I'm sure I will do that. And then this will be done. One for the books. And off the WIP list. So yeah, I think it's coming out really, really cute. As I think I mentioned in my last video, there's also a quilt along that goes along with it. And the patterns are all free. There is a kit that has the fabric that they use for it that you can buy if you want to. And I think they still have the kits if you're really interested. And I think I had told you guys I had intended to do the quilt along, but hadn't got to it yet. So I did get the first 2 blocks of the quilt along done. Blocks 3 and blocks 4 are all cut out and ready to go. I just have not gotten to them yet. I thought about waiting until it was all put together, but I figured I'll show them just real quick while I'm showing this. So this first block, now my corners aren't what they ought to be on this. It's been a hot minute since I made flying geese. But yeah, so that is the first one. Like I said, the corners aren't what they ought to be, but it's done. So that, and you know, as you can see, they mirror. I think they design the quilt and then put a stitch along together to kind of reflect very much what was in the quilt pattern. So yeah. So this is block 1. Done. And block 2 is this. And these are some very teeny, very teeny. And the corners are better on this. Not perfect, but better. These are some very teeny flying geese up here because the whole quilt is not very big either. I might actually just try to quilt this myself on my home machine. So yeah, so there we go, Jolly Tree Farm. That is finishing up this week. So hopefully, maybe, I don't know, maybe I'll have the whole thing, even the quilt. It won't be quilted, but even the quilt top finished for you guys. The next ones to talk about are the Steady Thread 2025 and 2026 stitch alongs. I am doing them both. Doing my deal with myself, allowing myself to do the 2026 was that I would also finish the 2025. So I don't think, I think I had 2 weeks worth of stitching that I was behind or something like that last time. I don't even think I showed these at my last regular update because I was behind on the stitching for them and there had been no progress. But I am all caught up other than like some stuff came out on Thursday. The new part came out on Thursday and I haven't even downloaded that yet. I certainly haven't done it. But so this is where we are at. So we are, so I think, I don't know, I think I have finished the last, I'll pop a picture up of where it was last time you saw it. I think I finished the last circle over here and did those 3 on that last long row. So we are officially halfway done with the long row, and then it's all downhill from there with our little bubbles. So this is being done on Cafe au Lait, 14 count Ada, I believe. The black is Classic Colorworks Black Coffee in the border, and around the little motifs or circles or bubbles, and all of those little black work motifs are just leftover Classic Colorworks that I had in my stash. All of the files, these are all free at the Steady Thread. If you join the Facebook group, they're all free. For the 2026, she still has all of the files from week 1 forward there. And like I've said before, it is very much choose your own adventure stitching. You know, there's choices for borders and there's choices for all of these different parts in these little blocks. So, and all those files are up there still. She takes them down usually kind of near the end of the year. And she gives everyone forewarning that she's taking down all the files like a couple weeks before she does it. Ask me how I know. I needed to download a lot of 2025. But I do have them. Okay, so the 2026 one, this is what it looked like last time you saw it. I'm clearly not remembering to do that. And this is where I am. So I do believe I finished, I can't even remember if this was this much done in the WIP Parade. I finished this block here. I think I had the 2 parts in the middle to do, and they're, you know, those are relatively small. And then did the first 2 parts on this block. And again, these last 2 parts cannot be very much stitching because look at the size of that center. Yeah. So this is where we're at. So I'm just doing this on 18 count white Aida. Not even 100% sure where I got it. Not that it matters. It's just 18 count white Aida with cottage garden threads, tool shed, and love seat, which are both variegated. And you can see that and how they're playing out. I just love the way this looks. I was thinking when I was doing this stitching, I was thinking, I wonder if I'm going to do this next year, or am I black worked out? I'm a little bit black worked out. I'm not going to lie, a little bit black worked out. However, a lot of it depends on the border and the layout and things like that. It's not a ton of stitching. It's really not every week once you get the border done. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I'll let you guys know when she releases the stuff. The next one has not had a single stitch since you saw it in the WIP Parade, and since I recorded the video for it, because I did a whole separate video for A Worthy Patriot. So this is the A Worthy Patriot sal that my stitchy bestie Katie over at Wandering Foot and I are hosting. We have a lot of people who have joined in, which is really, really, really fun and exciting. And this is what it will look like when it's done. It's by Paulette Stewart at Plum Street Sampler, and this is where it was last time you saw it, not including the Worthy Patriot sal video or the WIP Parade. Not a stitch. So I need to get started on my pre-stitching for part 3 because yeah, I have less than a week to get that done. So I need to get on that. But just in case you didn't see the WIP Parade or the other video, I did all the horizontal lines and the words across the top. So that's where we're at. So I'm doing this on Tuscan Path by Fox and Rabbit, 40 count, with all the called for floss, which is some DMC, some Weeks Dye Works, some Classic Color Works, and 1 Gentle Arts thread. So yeah. So part 3 is right up here. So I 100% will be working on that very soon because I need to do my pre-stitching and then film a video for that to go out next Saturday. Yeah, so that's that one. And the last sal to show you guys is Modern Folk Embroideries 2026 sal, Little Acorns. This has had maybe 30 stitches since the WIP Parade and probably maybe 30 stitches, I don't know, since the last update. I don't know, maybe more. So yeah, this band that I have maybe about 1/5 of the way done, if I'm being generous, might be more like 1/6, is my July band, and I really need to get to work on it. I picked it up and started working on it the other day, and I just got super distracted. So, yeah, that's as far as I am. So this is going to be getting some really serious time over the next week. I absolutely want to stay caught up on this, and I am caught up on it. So I want to stay caught up on it because I love this piece and I cannot wait to have it finished. So I'm doing this on 28 count Fox and Rabbit Saltbush with DMC 816 that I soaked in a really strong coffee dye just to kind of deepen that color a little bit. And that is where I am. Yeah. Like I said, not very exciting since the last time you saw it. But that, like I said, is also clearly going to be getting some work here. So I can stay caught up. And even if I'm not 100% done in the month of July, like I think it took me till the 6th or 8th to get the June's stitching done, I'm going to keep working on it and keep moving forward, because I really want that done by the end of the year. Actually, I would love to have it done by the end of November, because there's only 11 parts. So I'm kind of on track. Okay. And the last WIP I have to show you is Treasure Hunt Bookshelf by Amy Stewart, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. And I have put stitches into this since the WIP Parade. This is an old WIPGO call. I kind of fell off the WIPGO wagon and have this plan to get caught up with it. And it is the first of 3 WIPGO pieces I am supposed to be finishing this month. Now I know it's like the 26th and I'm still not done with the first one, but I'm very close to being done with the first one. And the rest, well, we'll see. But I have put some stitches into it since the WIP Parade. So I'm doing this on, believe it or not, 20 count Aida. So it is a literal bed sheet with DMC, 2 strands, full cross. And it is looking so stinking good. I was trying to finish this up before I recorded, and finally I was just like, screw it, I just need to go record. I owe it about 200 more stitches for WIPGO. I did go ahead and convert it to cross-stitch meadows, 3x3 diagonals with the parking. Absolutely loving it. And like I said before, this probably makes maybe a little bit more sense. So now that I have 6 lines across here, I dropped down to do the first 3x3 down here. And I can hear my husband coming from blocks and blocks away. So I'm sure it will be loud, hardly loud here any minute. So yeah, so I dropped down to do this one, and then I'll move back up here and come out another 3 diagonals, and then I will probably come down here and do 3 diagonals, then drop down and do that block of 3. Just because I know myself and I know I'll get bored if I'm just working across the top the whole time. But doesn't that look amazing? Oh my gosh, it looks so good. So good. I am, like I said in the WIP Parade, I am super comfortable with 2 strands, like stitching full coverage, 2 strands on 20 count Aida. I love the coverage, absolutely love the coverage. But I don't want to stitch everything on 20 count Aida because everything will be ginormous and the thread cost is huge. And this is max size, max color super size also. So fun. And I have decided, I'm going to geek out here for you guys. My favorite part about the parking method, which I was never a fan of before, and I don't know, you guys let me know if you feel the same way. I love it when I'm moving from one diagonal to the next, and the first thing I need to do is like work in all those park threads from the bottom up. That's like magic. I love that so much because you don't really have to manage thread much at all because it's there. And, you know, I get very excited when I have a lot of park threads because that really means most of the diagonal is going to be done. And then I can just start at the top and then just fill in the colors and symbols that weren't parked. So yeah, oh my gosh, such a beautiful piece. And it's looking so, I mean, I know it's like upper left corner, it's boring, but look at it. How fun is that? This will, I'm sure you'll be seeing this sooner rather than later. Even after I finish up my 200 stitches, because it is my catch-up stitching also, with the new plans. It was what was called for the catch-up stitching, and I'm loving every stitch that I'm taking on that. So yeah, so those are my WIPs. Okay, we're going to talk about UFOs for a second here. This is something that I have honestly never done before. I take that back. Maybe I have, but nothing very significant. I'm super stubborn and I keep things forever and I carry things around forever, clearly. And yeah. So I was editing my WIP Parade, and I got to the point where I was talking about the Hardanger ornaments with the little plastic hanger things that really, if I put 2 hours, 3 hours worth of work into max, would be done. And the silk ribbon embroidery. And I caught myself as I'm editing Jess, I hear myself say, oh, I'll just go ahead and get them finished and hang them on the tree. And then if the dogs take them off and chew them up and destroy them, then that's fine. I heard myself say that. And I realized that I hadn't been entirely honest when I said that there was really part of me that kind of hopes that if I finish them, the dogs take them off the tree and chew them up and destroy them. And that was very much an epiphany for me. I was like, even if it's only going to take me a couple hours to finish these. Here's the Harley. Even if it's only going to take me a couple hours to finish these, that is completely wasted time. If I really would prefer my dogs to chew them up and destroy them when I am done. I don't like them. There's nothing I like about them. It's not that I hate Hardanger. Hardinger's actually kind of fun, but I don't like these ornaments. If I would have liked these ornaments, I would have finished the ornaments a very long time ago. And I didn't. And I've been carrying them around with me because I'm feeling guilty about not finishing them. And that's silly. That's silly. So those are 100% being UFO'd. If anybody wants them, anyone wants them, let me know. I'll ship them out to you. If nobody wants them, and which wouldn't surprise me, if nobody wants them, I am going to take out the pearl cotton that is in there. The squares of fabric, the Hardanger fabric, they're really small. It doesn't really matter with them, and I'm just gonna chuck it. Just gonna chuck them. I probably won't chuck them like right away. They might hang out for a little bit in case if I just completely change my mind, which I don't think I will. But yeah, those are officially off my WIP list. The other thing that is there's more. There's more. The other thing that is officially off my WIP list is that silk ribbon embroidery. And I will make sure that I pop pictures of them on the screen while I'm talking about them, but the silk ribbon embroidery ornaments and that little gift bag, even though one is all but done. I mean, we're talking 5 minutes and one will be done. And they don't even take that long. I don't think to the best of my recollection, I didn't even really enjoy the silk ribbon embroidery. I mean, it was fine, but it's just not really my thing. And again, it goes pretty quick. So if I really had liked them, okay, and I'm not like a big heart person either. If I had really liked them and enjoyed it, I probably would have finished them because they were so close. Again, if anybody wants those, let me know. I will ship them out to you. All the silk ribbon, all the floss, everything that's in there. So you can finish them. If not, again, I'll probably salvage the supplies. They'll sit there for a little bit, and then I'll salvage whatever supplies I can from it, and out they go. Yeah. And that's also making me think about, I have kitted up a silk ribbon embroidery stocking. It's the full kit. I'm going to look at that. That might end up being a giveaway sooner rather than later, because I can't imagine myself ever doing it, and there's no reason for me to hold on to it if I won't do it. So I don't know. Stay tuned for that. But it also really gave me cause to think about some of my other patterns and some of my other things. And there's one in particular. that I can think of, which I really don't think I will ever stitch, ever. And it was something I won, and I probably shouldn't have even entered, but, and again, oh, sorry, Katie, shout out for Stitchy Kindness for you also, because she was very kind and like listened to me vent the other night. So to you also. Anyway, and she heard, like, I was going through the process with her because we were talking about updating spreadsheets and doing things like that. And that girl can write a spreadsheet. Anyway, yeah, I don't think I'll ever stitch it. And I don't know why I'm holding on to it. And it really kind of makes me want to go through all of my patterns to see how many of those things I feel like that about. And I might as well pass that out to someone who would want it and who would stitch it, rather than just taking up space at my house. So anyway, okay, I have a third definite UFO. And that is that drawn thread sampler. I'll pop that picture up here that is on the stained linen. I am not far enough into this to stress about it. I am keeping the pattern on this one. I do like doing drawn thread work. This is like, I'm not far enough along to stress about the work that I've put into it and the stains on the linen. I'm going to keep the pattern. I will just restart it whenever I feel like restarting it on a new piece of linen. I'm just not going to mess with it. I'm not going to mess with it. And when I looked at it, some of the work was not fantastic either. I've got all the pearl cotton. I just need another piece of linen, rather than stress about the stains and is it coming out and is it not coming out and all of that. That is UFO'd also, and the pattern is being saved and retained for later. I am also really thinking about UFOing that Frosty Feast piece that I found that's on that blue, somewhat stained linen, which I think the stitching will naturally cover all of that when I looked at it again. That tablecloth piece of blue linen that I have no memory of starting. I decided I'm going to try to stitch on that a little bit before I make that call. Just to see. I mean, like, I don't know, maybe I'll really enjoy stitching on it. I don't know. But I'm holding off on that one for now. But 3 of them are definitely out of there. So, yeah, me. Look at me. You should be proud of me. I UFO'd some things. I'm just like taking cues from stitchers around me, maybe. Okay. Haul. There's a lot of haul. I'm going to pause. Definitely pausing to try to get this organized a little bit. Hold on. Okay, I stopped instead of paused, so now I get to splice. Okay, like I said, I have a lot of haul. I'm going to start with the non-exciting stuff, just to kind of get it out of the way. We'll just do it really super quick. First thing, I did receive my full set of CXC floss from Naughty Unicorn Crafts, who I will link below. She's amazing. Thank you so much. So I did get those. Did not bring those. You don't need to see a whole set of CXC. So that is first things first. So I did that because I knew through Milestone Manor I was going to potentially, definitely be having a lot of new full coverage starts, and I just wanted to make sure I could get them started right away, and we'll fill in, you know, where I need to. Also, in that vein, I ordered a whole lot of Easy Grid. So I ordered like a full yard of 28 and a full yard of 25. I think I'm going to go back and order a full yard of the 20 count Ada, just because I do like, if it's a smaller project or something, I do like 2 strands on that. So I just want to have options to start for the new starts. So that's not terribly exciting. Along with that, I ordered a bunch of stitch cards. So I think Jessie Marie of Jessie Marie Does Stuff uses these. I know she had a little like 3D printed thing that she showed on a video a while back. And Andrew of Andrew the Runner Stitcher uses these, and I thought I'd give them a try. So instead of just like ordering 1 or 2, I ordered 9. They come in 3 different colors, like blue, green, and purple. So I ordered 3 of each because, you know, I don't know, why not? And I am using them for the Tree of Life piece, and I do like them. I do like them. I even have some needles parked in these little places, which is working. They're working really well. And like, I ordered the ones that hold 50 different colors. So I think you have a 25 option and a 50 option when you order these. And I did order the 50, like, yes, 9 50s. And for 32, it worked perfectly. I only needed 1 of these for that whole project. So I am liking them so far. Other things, non-exciting things that I ordered. I ordered those, like Amazon shopping, I ordered just a bunch of floss drops, like nothing very special. Just floss drops that have that extra hole that I like for the little bits. I do really prefer working off floss drops rather than bobbins. And that's where some of the haul came from. And I don't know, I needed more. So I ordered a couple packs of those, and those came with rings. I didn't know that they came with rings, but it always irritates me when I run out of rings to put things on. So I ordered a whole set of 12 rings also. I also like to use these when I'm dyeing yarn, instead of like a zip tie. I mean, because it's like one use and dispose it. Well, I guess you can reuse zip ties, but I like to use these when I'm dyeing yarn also. So I ordered a whole thing of little rings because it pisses me off when I need a ring and I can't find one. So yeah, like I said, that's not very exciting. That's the really not very exciting stuff. And I know if you watched the WIP Parade, you saw these, but because, you know, Milestone Manor, and it's been a hot minute since I played D&D, I had to order dice. I didn't want to do the electronic dice roll because I just wanted to roll the dice. So I got this full set of these dice. And I don't need all of them, you know, for the game, but that's okay. It's a full set. Should I decide to just go D&Ding? And I think they're beautiful. They're absolutely beautiful. So, and they're heavy, and they come in this little like fake leather bag. But yeah, they're fun. They're fun. So yeah. Okay. This one takes a little bit of explaining. So, I was watching a relatively new floss tuber who's goes by a stitchy mess named Jess. I will link her below. I think she only has 2 videos out so far, but I am really enjoying her floss tubes. And on her last one, she talked about these things that she ordered from Painted Fairy Cross Stitch. And I see their ads all the time, and I hadn't ordered anything. But she was talking about these things, and I'm just going to pull one out and show them to you. So they are hangers to put embroidery floss on, and they're pre-numbered with all the DMC colors. And this is something that I think very easily could be 3D printed. And it is just the exact size to hang in like a file drawer. You know, like the hanging files, it is the perfect size to do that. And I saw that and I thought, and I'm just gonna do this now. I saw that and I thought, hey, I love that, because I really prefer to work from pre-cut lengths on floss drops. If I had my druthers, that's what I'd work from all the time. I do have a lot of DMC that's bobbinated, just from before. And the good thing about bobbinating is that it's very easy to store, very, very easy to store. And I have struggled to figure out how to store my DMC that I put on floss drops. And I know people have said like peg walls, and people have peg walls. And yes, I have a huge frickin' house, but my office area, craft room area, does not have a lot of wall space because it's a lot of built-ins, and I don't have a pegboard. And quite frankly, I don't aesthetically care for pegboards. And so I haven't really wanted to do that. And I have thought, and like since I ordered these in anyway, I have heard people say something about closets and hanging and all of that stuff. And, you know, that is definitely worth looking at. But I thought, well, maybe these would be a really good solution. Because what I end up doing when I'm starting a new project is I think about not knowing how to store the DMC. Once I have pre-cut it and put it on floss drops, or not having a good solution for that. And so then I end up bobbinating it. And then I'm unhappy because I'm working from bobbins and I don't want to be working from bobbins. So all of that to say, I ordered in a full set of these. And also, you have the option of ordering a box. Now, I could have just gone out and, see, they're gonna like slide all over the place. I could have just gone out and gotten like a hanging file thing. Definitely could have for what I paid for it, because the box was a little spendy, not gonna lie. But I thought, hey, that'll be nice to like have everything right there, kind of all in one place. And it like came with a lid, and I thought, okay, so I like that. I like that idea. These things. They work. They work. I moved like all of my DMC that I had from floss drops onto them, and it works great. I'm not a mad person. I'm not taking everything off a bobbin and like filling it out. So these are just going to be filled out kind of as I finish up a project that has DMC that needs to be stored, organized in some way. I am a little underwhelmed, honestly. I mean, they work great. Don't get me wrong. They work great. But do you see this junk on here? Like all of the pieces, like this plastic was clearly intended for something else. I mean, it's not decorative. It's just like junk plastic. And I don't know. They were more expensive, arguably, than they should have been. And I don't love the, like, okay, I'm storing floss on it. Does it really, really matter that the plastic has like red and blue bits and swirls all over the place? No, I mean, in the greater scheme of things, it doesn't matter. But I do think if someone is going to charge what they're charging for that, like, I don't know, maybe use plastic that was intended for this, and like have it be clear, right? Like have it look tidy. So yeah, like I love the idea. I think these could 100% be 3D printed by somebody who has a 3D printer and knows what they're doing at a lot less than what you're gonna pay for them. I have them. I'm not unhappy that I have them. I might pay for these, even though they're not tidy. Like I would have probably done it again. The box, I don't think I would have paid for. I mean, it all came unassembled. I mean, it's coming from China. That makes sense. And it was not really too hard to assemble. They did have a little instructions that were all pictures, but they were kind of useless because it's essentially clear. So you couldn't really see anything. It did come with these adorable little plastic screws and this little screwdriver. And I got it together without really too much problem. The lid is ostensibly useless. It just sits. Like there's nothing that hooks it to the box in any way. It just sits almost like a dust cover on top, and quite frankly, it just falls off all the time. So I'm not sure what's up with that, but they're there. They're all in one spot. I will use it. I will 100% use it. I'm just not sure if I would buy it again, but it is haul. So my little, for what it's worth, my little review of this whole situation. I love the hanging. I love the organization. I love that it's pre-numbered. You don't have to get them pre-numbered. You could put little stickers on them very easily. It's easy to get a set of stickers with all the DMC colors on them. But yeah. I am just trying to figure out where I'm putting it in my room now because, yeah, it takes up a little bit of space. But once it's full, like, I don't know, I'm going on about this way too long, but I'll be very thankful to have a place when I'm done with like Extraordinary Birds, which is very close to being done. And I'm using some floss card situations for that and like a place to put all that DMC. And I have several other things that I'm using the floss drops for. So I'll be very happy to be able to put stuff away in there. And then that was part of the reason for buying these, because I no longer feel like I need to bobbinate anything or face a storage issue. So there. Initially I thought, hey, maybe this would be good to get for like fancy floss and stuff like that too. Like I said, you can get them without the DMC numbers on there. But no, I like, if I do that, I'll have someone 3D print them for me rather than order them. They did send me a skein of the painted fairy floss just to try out. And I haven't stitched anything yet with it, clearly. But, you know, it does look like it's like a good quality. I know it's 100% Egyptian cotton or something like that. They sent me all sorts of information about the painted fairy floss. And it does really seem like a good floss. And I know it's a lot less expensive than DMC. So, hey, I might in the future be kitting something up with this and just giving it a try and seeing what I think. Because who doesn't need a full set of CXC, a full set of DMC, and a full set of painted fairy? Of course, we all do, right? Okay. I ordered this bag in, like I need project bags like nobody's business. So I ordered this bag in from Fat Quarter Shop. It popped up on their website as something new and I went, hey, a bag, you know, that's great. That'll work. I think it's kind of pretty. Let's go ahead and do it. So it came in. It's a little bit smaller than I would like it to be. And I was a little bit surprised because I didn't realize it was vinyl fronted. I don't have any issue with vinyl fronted bags at all, but it's also vinyl backed. So I'm confused. I mean, no, yeah, there's two pockets. There's a zipper pocket that goes to this vinyl out front, in the front. And then there's a separate pocket in the back where you can just put something in and it's vinyl there also. So I think arguably like you could put your pattern here so you could know what it is and like your project in here or something. I really don't know exactly how I feel about it. Like I said, it's a little bit smaller than I'd like it to be, but it's not a bad size and it was not a bad price. Yeah, so new bag, like I'm okay with it. I'm not sure I'm in love with it, but I'm okay with it. I'm absolutely okay with it. So that is going to get a project very soon. Let's see, other things. I'm not even close, guys. So grab something to drink. Silks for You had a sale and I ordered a couple hanks in. The other one needs to remain a mystery for now, but I ordered in a couple hanks and I cannot even remember which PR this was. I will look that up and I'll put it up on the screen. So I will sit down with my Swift and my ball winder and probably wind it into a ball. But so it is like purples and pinks and blues and there's a little bit of gray in there. And I think I mentioned before that I was highly tempted to look at a highly variegated one. And yeah, I'm really happy with it. I am trying to figure out what projects I want to stitch with it. So be on the lookout. There's so many options, so many options. So yeah, so I've got my mini hank from Silks for You. I mean, it was like a 50% off sale. How can you not order silk from Australia at 50% off? The last piece of physical, non-digital haul that I have to show you is my sampler September stuff that came in from Evertote. And this made me so very happy. The pattern, one of the patterns they're featuring for Sampler September by Maximum Cross Stitch is this one, and it's called Strange Creature. And it has a quote from Pride and Prejudice on it. And I just thought that was fun. I love to stitch a house, and those are some good houses to be stitching. And so I got this pattern. And I also got the suggested linen, which was arrow root, and they said 1/8 is fine. So I got 40 count 1/8 of the arrow root linen, the Roxy Floss Co. linen, to stitch it on. And I told you guys, Roxy Floss, Evertote obsessed here lately. I also bought the floss pack. I cannot even tell you how much I'm loving stitching with the Roxy Floss. I have not done that before. And I've got the Fast Frisian coming up with the floss pack. I've got the Evertote Advent box coming up. And I'm just loving it. I can see why people convert to this and convert projects to this, because it is amazing to stitch with. So I bought the floss pack, and there's a fair number of colors in there. So I just figured, I love stitching with it, and it kind of starts to build kind of my Roxy Floss library or investments right there. So yeah, I have a full set of Classic Colorworks, ostensibly. I'm just waiting on the last few shipments, and a full set of Weeks. So I figured, why not? I like to get all the fancy floss, but no, I am enjoying this floss so much. So yeah, so I have the entire floss pack to go with that also. And it is just going to look lovely. I know it is. And that is going to be my Sampler September project. I did order a bag in also. I almost just ordered the whole box. And maybe I should have, I don't know. But this is the bag that I really wanted from them. I just loved the pattern on this bag. And I don't think it came with the box. And I knew I wanted this bag. It's not a very big bag. It's like a kind of smallish bag. I would say like the pattern is about 8 by 11, and it would just like you'd have to fold it a little bit to get it in there. But yeah, oh my gosh, adore the bag. So it's just white on the inside, but it is lovely. So sorry about the zipper. So yeah, that stuff came in, and that project, of course, has to live in that bag, and I need to figure out exactly. I don't think I'm bending that pattern, so I have to figure out what I'm doing with that. Okay, so that's physical. I've got some digital haul, so I'll pop pictures up when I'm talking about them. A number of full coverage companies that chart full coverage had some really good sales going on, and I talked about this in my WIP Parade. I just needed a few more for Milestone Manor after I quelled the herd and didn't want to kind of duplicate things. So I ended up buying 4 pieces, 2 from Handmade and 2 from Stitches So Beautiful. So from Handmade, I did finally buy a unicorn tapestry piece. I'll pop it up here. It's Unicorn Tapestry 3. And it's under their like artwork and antiquities tab. They have all of them up there. but I did decide on this one, so I did buy this one. The other thing I bought from Handmade is very much inspired by Jessie Marie Does Stuff. She has been just really loving stitching on her Margaret Morales pieces, and that is not someone that I really thought about a whole lot, but it definitely sent me like looking, and the more I looked, the more I liked, and I knew I kind of wanted to buy one, and I kind of wanted to start one, and I don't know, I think is Kat from Catkin and Lily, I think she bought one too to do. Pretty sure she did. Kind of inspired by the same place. So there were a number of them, just a number of them that I really, really, really loved. I wanted to make sure it was max color because from everything I've heard, you just get better detail with the face and everything with the max color. So it had to be available max color. And I really wanted one where the figure had dark hair. I mean, clearly I have dark hair in spite of the grays, and I really wanted the dark hair. So I ended up going with Azul. Let me pop it up on the screen here for you. And I'm really excited to start this. I think it is just beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And really excited to get that started. It's just like this amazing watercolor. Love it, love it, love it. Super, super excited to get that started. So those are the two that I bought from Handmade, from Stitches So Beautiful. The first one I bought, I intended to buy a very long time ago. And when I was going through and looking at things, I realized I didn't have it. So it was very, very fortuitous that they had the really good sale. So the first one I bought is the Gilded Green Santa, which I will pop on your screen right here. Its companion piece I own, which is just the Gilded Santa. So I'll pop them up side by side here. I think these are just stunning. I love these so much. The Gilded Santa is in Milestone Manor. I don't know where he is, but he's there, or where he will be, but he is in there. And so the Gilded Green Santa is not going to go into Milestone Manor, but you have to have them both, right? You have to have them both. So yeah, so I picked up that one. And then the other one I picked up, again, had caught my eye again and again. I should say that the Gilded Green Santa, the Gilded Santas in general, but is by Mystic Vision. And then this one that had caught my eye is called The Wandering Witch, and it is by Artemis Journals, and I'll pop that picture up there. I love all things witchy, and the piece just made me smile every time I looked at it. It's a little bit different from other stuff that I am doing full coverage with, so I was really happy to get that. And that is in Milestone Manor, someplace. I don't know. But you know what? I have free reign to start anything anytime I want to. I mean, I've got 26-some thousand sparkle stitches, and even if I didn't, I'm allowed to start things. So yeah, who knows? Who knows what I'll be starting, when I'll be starting it. Okay, I just realized I hadn't plugged my phone in, and that's going to be a really bad situation if I don't take care of that. So I had to take care of that. Okay. One other piece of digital, and then we'll kind of move on a little bit from there. No, I am not still done. I am 100% serious. I'm boosting the economy. Midsummer Stitch was the last weekend that I released my, my FlossTube. So I did buy a ticket. I had intentions of going to the Stitchy rooms, and I didn't sign up for any classes or do anything like that. There were a couple FlossTubers I would have loved to have visited with, but like WIP parades are exhausting. And on top of that, I got notice, I think the day before, that Evertote was doing a de-stash that morning. And so I thought I can de-stash and still Midsummer Stitch without a problem. And so I recorded kind of the first part of the WIP Parade, destashed, and then recorded the second part. And I had best intentions of sitting down and getting on there, and I didn't. I just didn't. I got on there first thing in the morning to go shopping and just never logged back in, which is bad. Like, I wanted to do it. I was just so tired from the whole WIP Parade thing, and I knew I had lots of editing and stuff in front of me, so I just didn't. So I am really making a concerted effort for the next one to really be present for the whole thing, because I love that Lindy Stitches does these virtual events and all of that. So yeah, my shopping from there, I didn't do too much damage. I hopped on there real quick. I knew I absolutely, undoubtedly wanted the blue flower exclusive design, A Boat of Magic. And I will pop that up on the screen there. Oh my gosh, I just loved that. I loved every single thing about that. And I haven't stitched any blue flower before. I would be surprised if I don't have blue flower patterns, but I didn't go back and look and confirm that. But I just loved it and absolutely needed to pick it up. So I picked it up. I picked up the floss pack and the called for fabric. Fabric, I think I bought 32. I've been doing a lot of 40, and like 32 is so easy sometimes. I think I might have picked up 32. I don't know. It was 32 or 40. I'm trying to steer clear of 36, just because it confuses me. I don't know whether grumbly duck. I don't know whether I want one or two skeins, one or two strands on it. So I'm just trying to steer clear of it. And then I did pick up some of the exclusive fabric also. There were several other things I was looking at and really, really tempted to pick up, but I did not. I was very tempted to pick up JetX Stitches exclusive, but I don't know, it's the colors. They're just not my colors. I just was having a color issue with it, and I know I could do it in different colors, but yeah, there was just something. I went, you know, I love so many of her designs that I would want to stitch before I would stitch that. And I mean, it was beautiful. I'm not bad mouthing it at all. It just was the colors and was not my thing. So, and I love JetX Stitch. So I did not pick that up. And if I change my mind, it'll be available in a year anyway. So that, okay. I did, because I am an iPhone user, but that is really the only Apple product that I have. I have that and my watch, and I have a very, very, very old iPad. It is very hard, as people know, to get things into Pattern Keeper. Sometimes if you want to digitize a chart, and I know markup, it's a whole lot easier. And my iPad is so old. Yes, it is that old, and it still runs. It is so old that markup will not load into it. I know they're looking at an update for an Android. I have an Android tablet that I'm using Pattern Keeper on. And I was very, very close to just buying a new iPad. So I could use RXP regularly and not on my little phone screen, because that's really irritating. I didn't buy a brand new one, but I found a very reasonably priced old used one that's in super, super condition. So now I am with, it even came with a pencil. As I do this, that's what I mean. So yeah, now I'm set to go with RXP. So now I've got some patterns that are going to be on RXP, probably most of them moving forward, because I really like it better. I like the analytics and the statistics that they give you, and it's really easy to put patterns into, but then I have other patterns that are on Pattern Keeper, so I'm just going to be juggling. So that really kind of established my new to me iPad. Let's see. We need to talk about the Evertote D-Stash. Jiminy Christmas. So much fun. So much fun. I bought so much stuff. It's not here yet. I will show it all to you when it gets here, but I did serious, serious damage. Like literally, I looked at my invoice and went, oh my, what did I do? What have I done? I mean, love it. I will love everything that comes in. But yeah, those are so much fun. Oh my gosh. And there's a big one on the 31st, another big one, because they're in the process of moving to a different building. So I'm sure I will go. I don't need anything after everything I bought, but I'm sure I probably will. Still attend and still do that thing. Let's also talk about Modern Folk Embroidery and all of their new releases. Jacob is killing me. He is absolutely killing me. There are so many of those I want to stitch. But I fell in love with, just like most people did, I got crinkly chips happening in the background. So yeah, fell in love like most people did with the All the Time one. That and the bird feeder were absolutely my favorite. I did like the big ship too, but like those two were the tops. The All the Time. And I knew that he was doing, originally they talked about it being a 3-color version. It ended up being a 4-color version exclusive of that for Evertote. And so I was waiting for that. I wanted to see that before I purchased it. And it did show up on their website. And this is what it looks like. Like I said, it ended up being 4 colors. And they have a floss pack. And they're recommending it on porcelain. And I looked at that and I loved it. Of course, how could you not? But I was still like kind of looking at it and like kind of having a color issue too, going, okay, those really aren't my colors. It would look, I mean, arguably it would look good in my house. I have all the colors in my house. But I was just like, those really aren't my colors. Do I want to do it in those colors? I just wasn't sure. And Carolyn even went through and she had some different color ideas, but I think she's going to do it in the originals. And then I was just like, oh, I've got like this variegated, I've got a mini hank of a beautiful floss coming from the D-Stash. I could do it with that. Lots of different options. Maybe I just need to go with a 1-color version. But at the end of the day, I did end up buying the multi-color version with the porcelain because I didn't have any porcelain, even though I've got tons of fabric. And I did buy the floss pack also because even if I don't use it, it's just building my Roxy floss thing. And you know, I think it might grow on me. The more I looked at it, the more it grew on me. And I know things often look different when you stitch them than they do with the mock-up. So I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing with that yet. It's not here, but it's also on the way. Okay. Oh, yes. Okay. My Stitchy bestie, Katie, has a birthday coming up in just a few days. And she had kind of asked that we stitch like booky things, like bookish library related, because the winning piece out of her Stitch Madness bracket was Ode to Libraries by Heartstring Samplery. And yeah, so I thought about just getting that piece and doing it. And I just wasn't really sure what I wanted to do. Just something booky, book related. And something that I've really been wanting to do is start a Needlework Designs, Knit-A-Lot Designs pattern. I do have her book, her most recent book. I do love a lot of the patterns in there. There is one that specifically has a book on it, but it's not, I mean, I love it, but it's not like on the top of my list of the ones in there that I want to start. And so I thought, well, maybe is it a stretch to do something out of here that's booky? I don't know. And so I went on this like rabbit hunt for like other booky charts or just trying to figure out what I wanted to do. And I even thought about this piece. and not saving it for Sampler September and just starting it for Katie's birthday. But then I thought, no, I want something specifically for Katie's birthday and something specifically for Sampler September, as one does. So then I watched Kat on Katkin and Lily's latest FlossTube, and she has another like book related stitch along thing that she's doing, and she reminded me of the book Dragon Chart by Needlework Designs, and I went, oh yes, thank you, that is exactly what I'll be stitching. So I did purchase this as well. I haven't, I'll pop it up. I have not made fabric decisions yet. I really haven't even made floss decisions. I won't stray far from what's there, just like what of my multiple sets I'm going to use. But yeah, so I did pick up that as well, and we'll be starting that for Katie's birthday. So I'm super excited about that. Super excited. That is not all. It's not all. I have at least, I mean, like the Evertote stuff is still coming. Both the Modern Folk embroidery piece and the D-Stash stuff, that is still coming. Outside of that, I have at least 3, if not 4 more packages on the way from other places, which is not here yet, and I will show them to you when they get here. But yeah, it's bad. And I am in a bad place because like Needlework Marketplace is right on us, and I am seeing all these new designs coming out from designers, and boomerang stitches is absolutely freaking killing me right now. Like I think every single release I want to stitch. Not to mention Lloyd. Can we talk about Lloyd for a minute? You know, those four little pieces like Lloyd, I'll pop everything up on the screen for you. They came out at Nashville. I bought them all. I have not started them, but I bought them all, and I was going to do them in one piece, like 2 on top, 2 on bottom. And here pops Lloyd. He's clearly part of the set. Is there more? I need to know. Is there more? Because I need to make fabric choices and decisions on whether I'm like stitching them all together or not. I don't know. Like at this point, I feel like I just have to stitch them all separately, because I don't know how many of these are coming in. I need every single one of them. So that is a problem. But yeah, I haven't seen a lot of designs that are coming out yet, like the Harpy. Can we talk about the Harpy from Housewife, the Artsy Housewife? Can we talk about that? Like, it's just going to be bad. I don't know what else to say. It's going to be bad. And on top of all of that, I was on Lindy Stitch's site the other day, and you know that chart that I finished, that very old WIP, that H is for honey, that one? I'll pop it up here maybe yeah. She has all the charts. She has all the charts from the Prairie Schoolers, like A through Z. I don't know if I can resist. I don't know whether I will ever stitch them. I did enjoy stitching that one. It took me probably 15 years to get it finished, but I did enjoy stitching that one, and I did think, hey, this would be kind of fun to have all of these. Lindy has all of them on her site, so credit cards are smoking right now. Okay. I do have like some like bag related WIP haul, because I haven't even touched like quilty haul with you guys, and I'm not going to. I'm going to save that for a little bit later, try to get through all the stitchy stuff first. But yeah. Yeah, I've got fabric stuff for bags, and yeah, we'll talk about that too. Okay, so at this point, before I go into plans, let's talk about giveaways. So I passed the 400 subscriber mark, and I know that might not be a huge milestone to a lot of people out there, but it's big to me, and I think it is worth celebrating. I'm always really kind of amazed that anyone watches, let alone subscribes. And so I was really happy, and I'm like confidently over there, so I don't think the fluctuations are going to bring me back down. So as promised, when I crossed that 300 mark, I want to give away 2 gift cards. And I'm just going to say to a stitching shop of your choice, as long as I can buy a digital gift card through them. And as long as they don't have problems taking my money, and I can't imagine they would. There are so many wonderful shops out there. I'm really enjoying Just Stitching Co. with Stephanie. Just great customer service. I love Lindy Stitches, top-notch stitchers. 123 Stitch is always a great place to go. I order stuff at Fat Quarter Shop. I mean, there's so many wonderful shops. I don't want to choose the shop for you. So 2 $20 gift cards to a stitching shop of your choice, and this pattern. Okay, so there are going to be 3 different giveaways. So if you are interested in this pattern, I will ship this anywhere in the world. I don't know why people outside the US would want it, but I don't know, maybe they do. You know, you can always customize this to whatever country you live in. Just drop in the comments and use the word tiny in the comments, and I will randomly draw a winner for these probably next Saturday. So that would be Saturday the 31st. August 31st, okay? So if you're interested in the Patriotic Tiny Town pattern, use the word tiny. And if you're interested in the gift cards, let's see, let's think of a good word. I don't know, use the word anniversary, because it is kind of my FlossTube anniversary too. So that's why I thought that would be fun. Also, like, yeah, right? So over 400 subscribers, and a FlossTube anniversary. So 2 $20 gift cards, so 2 people will win. And then the pattern. So use the word anniversary for the gift cards and tiny for the pattern. And of course, you need to be 18 or older, because I need to be able to ask for your email address and send that stuff. And we don't use those words that bring the trolls in, like free or giveaway or pick me or anything like that. Yeah, so just drop a comment and let me know if you want to be entered to win those things. I'll draw next Saturday. Okay, cool. Plans. I'm going to talk about cross-stitch plans, then I'm going to kind of shift a little bit into bags and knitting, and then we'll do a life update, and then I'll be done, because I know this is going to be really long. Looking at that time already. Okay, so plans. I will clearly be finishing the Fat Quarter Shop stitch along before I record again. I might even have the whole little quilt top done. We'll see whether I feel inspired by it. I will have part 3 done for A Worthy Patriot Sal, doing my pre-stitching for that, so I can do that video. So that's absolutely happening in the next week. Little Acorns is also going to be a huge focus over the next week, because I want to remain caught up on that for sure. And the other thing is WIPGO for sure. Like I said, I owe Treasure Hunt Bookshelf 200 stitches left for WIPGO. The other 2 pieces that I planned to get 1,000 stitches in on in July were Santa at the North Pole. I'll pop it up there. It's an ornament, so it's a crop of a chart, original work by artwork by Scott Gustafson, charted by Handmade. So I owe that 1,000 stitches. That is digital, so it's just that I'm just stuck in boring sky. But I'm hopeful that I can get 1,000 stitches done on that relatively quickly. The other one is Angel Moonlight. Pop that up there. This is the chart that Amy digitized and is on markup for me. So this should go quick. These 1,000 stitches should go really quick, because I think it's on like 14 count Ada, and it's like all dark. It's not super Confederate heavy. So 1,000 stitches should be able to happen without a problem. So I really hope to get all of that. Like, I'm going to focus on those things in the next week. On top of that, we do have Katie's birthday coming up just a couple days, and I will be starting that Book Dragon piece for her also. So I don't expect to really like have a lot of time to do my Knock It Out, to do Milestone Manor, to use any sparkle stitches. However, you never know what's going to happen, because something new amazing might come in the mail and I just might need to start something immediately. And then on the 1st, which is the next day I'll be recording, August 1st, probably if I record on Sunday, the Fast Frisian starts. That Sal starts. So I might have put stitches in that before I record. I actually probably will have put stitches in that before I record. So those are the things I would expect me to be working on and me to be showing you next week. That being said, everything could change. Everything could change. Okay, so knitting. We're going to shift a little bit of knitting, a little bit of quilty, baggy talk situation. Knitting, I have been working. I was absolutely almost done with my sock that I was doing, those Maine Coast socks by Summer Lee. I'll pop that up there again for you guys. That I was doing with Becca is Stitching and Dawn Marie of DM's Crafty Vortex. And Becca is almost done with her entire pair, of course. I was very happy to see Dawn Marie had restarted, because I ostensibly had to restart. I'm using that delicious yarn. They, of course, have like the cool dungeon, I can't say that, dungeon crawler Carl yarn. I do not, but I have that like lovely, delicious hedgehog fibers that I was knitting it with. And I was almost all done with one sock. And I went to go try it on, because, at a certain point you can try those socks on. And it has been so long since I knit socks. I forgot that I have a really high instep and a really high arch, and I need to add rows to the heel flap, or else it is darn close to impossible to get the sock past my heel. I did get the sock past my heel, but it was more effort than it should have been. And I kind of considered just continuing. And gifting them to somebody. But then I love that yarn so much, I wanted them for myself. So I had to tink back all through the heel turn and the gusset decrease, and if you knit socks, you know what I'm talking about, all the way back, and like add stitches to that heel flap to give me, I don't know, I know my foot. I don't know why I didn't do that previously, but so yeah. So it had to go to the penalty box for a little bit, because I was mad at it, being mad at myself for not doing that. So I am still working on that. I don't have anything to show you guys with that, but that has not been forgotten, and those socks will be finished. Okay, bags. I have a number of bags all cut up, all set up, all ready to go. I just need to sew them, and I have not done that yet. Included in there is a surprise bag that I can't show you, but most of the ones that are cut out and sitting there, yeah, they're all like Halloween based, and I didn't bring any of that to show you because I didn't. Okay. They're not new stash, and like I didn't, and they're to the point that it's very, very easy. It would be very easy to sew them up and show them to you once they're done. So some of those, I believe, I do think, especially after my purchases that I'm pointing at over here, I do think I might be opening an Etsy shop to sell bags, because like I said, I have tons of fabric. I do enjoy making bags, and with the way I am spending money on cross-stitch, it really kind of, I don't know, any little thing helps at this point. So originally when I thought about doing that, it was just using up fabric, and then it turned into this whole, like, I'm going to, oh, that's really cute. That would make a cute bag. Buy new fabric to make bags with. So I absolutely need to open an Etsy store and start selling these bags. Yeah, okay. So I'm not showing you the Halloween ones. I'll just get those all stitched up and then I'll show them to you. I haven't opened a store yet or anything like that. I'm sure it will be called Hero Born Stitches when I do. If you see anything here, now this is going to feel like pressure if you tell me you want one of these bags, but if you see anything here that you're absolutely in love with, let me know. Save me an Etsy shop. Everything is going to be really super crinkly, so I am going to take stuff out of packages before I show it to you, so I'm pausing real quick. Okay, so first things I'm going to show you are kind of Christmas. I forgot to take something out of the bag. I'm not pausing again. You're going to have to deal with the crinkles. I forgot to take something. Okay, I just said that, and I'm shaking the table. Okay, first things I'm going to show you are Christmas related. Yeah, and I think these were, other than the Halloween stuff that's cut up, this is the first new fabric that I have purchased to make bags out of. So these panels came out, and I've got like some Halloween panels that I'm playing around with and some other panels that I'm playing around with making into bags. But these panels came out, and I don't even remember the name of the designer, and I might just have to stand up here. These are pretty big. Oh, I don't know. Maybe I'll just show them to you one at a time. Some of these are more excited than others. I'm just looking at that, and it says fresh eggs. That doesn't seem very Christmassy. It's like it's gingerbread, I mean, is the theme. So there is this panel, and I think these are pretty good sized. And then there is this panel. I gotta see what you guys are seeing. And this panel. And then there's, I think, a lot of them on this fabric. That panel in the middle, this panel, this panel, this middle one, I don't even know if you guys are seeing that. And then this one down here with the horses. Okay, so there are these big panels that go with that gingerbread collection. And there's also small panels that go with the gingerbread collection. So let me show you those. Okay, I'll get back to that. I think this is the same. Maybe it's not the same collection. Maybe it's a different collection. I don't know. Kind of looks like the same collection. So there are these smaller panels, which I would say are about 8 inches square. So we have like lots of different colors. I love these ones right here. The colorful ones that says chopping, that one. And there's another one on the other side. Little gingerbread recipe. Little cookbook thing. More recipe. This one that says sledding. That's the other one I really love. Oop. I guess you need to see it. I've seen it, right? And then we have bake at the bottom. Flour. Whatever that says. I can't read backwards. The green, can you see that? And then the gift. Okay, so I just thought these were cute. I just thought they were cute. And the bigger ones are a pretty good size. I'm not, in my opinion, big enough for a bag. So I also bought some fabric from the collection to kind of go around the outside of these to make the bags a little bit bigger and to use as lining. So I bought this green, and I have not put these together yet. So clearly I don't know exactly what I'm doing with it yet. I do have a fair amount of fabric that could go with it. I just wanted to make sure I had some that really matched super well. So I bought this green. That's not it. It's just slow and coming. Oop. Yeah. I also bought some yellow. to use some blue to use, and some red, and another yellow. Did I keep going? I don't know if I did. Oh, yep, that's it. Oh, no, that's the red. Okay, yeah. So those are the prints from the collection that I'm going to kind of frame out those panel pieces with to turn into bags. So I will definitely keep at least one for myself because I need project bags. But so that, I'm sorry, I'm shaking the table. So that is the first kind of Christmas bag stuff I bought. Like I said, I bought some Halloween bag stuff. And then this print came out and I absolutely could not resist at all whatsoever. And it's funny because Evertote is making bags from the exact same print. They had the same thought I did. So this came out, Northcott Fabrics. This Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer with a Humble Bumble. Oh my God, how could you not? How fun is that? So I bought enough to make like 4 bags, and I'm definitely keeping one for myself of this print. And I bought this for the lining. These are just little, that was part of the fabric, part of the collection. So I'm going to be putting together bags out of this. And like I said, I'm definitely keeping one for myself. And then when I was looking at that, I also saw this print, and I don't know, it was just pretty. And I was just like, that is going to make a really nice bag. So this is, get it turned up right for you guys. So it has just this house and Santa and some trees and poinsettia plants. So like I said, I think I have enough to make 4 bags from this. And to line those bags, I picked up the poinsettia print for the inside because I thought that would be so pretty. Yeah, so buying to make bags instead of just using the fabric I have. And I wish I could say I stopped there, but I didn't, because I had to make an impromptu trip to Hutchinson, which is about 1 hour and 45 minutes, maybe 2 hours from me. And I remembered that there was a quilt store. And again, I didn't take these out of the bags, so I'm gonna be crinkly and I'm sorry. Maybe I'll just like do this all at once. I forgot that there was a big old quilt store very, very close to there that I had been meaning to get back to. I mean, it's easily probably been 25 years since I was at that quilt store. And they have such a wonderful selection, and it's so, sorry, crinkly. It's in such a weird location to have such an amazing selection. But yeah, so of course I stopped there and don't need a darn thing. Did that stop me? Absolutely did not. So I did pick up this little spider print and just some black because I needed some more Halloween-y things to finish the Halloween bags. I was kind of stretching it a little bit. I don't know what I was thinking. I bought like a fat quarter bundle, and that's not big enough to make a bag with. I mean, you can put pieces together and stuff, but the dimensions are just wrong. So I needed some more Halloween-y stuff for that. And then when I was walking around, I just saw all sorts of other things that I thought would make cute bags. I'm not a dinosaur girl. I'm really not. But this was just so cute, and they actually had a lot of really cute dinosaur fabric. So I don't know if you guys have a dinosaur project that needs a dinosaur bag. Yep, I got some dinosaur print, and to line that, I got this. So how fun is that? Maybe I'm just having fun picking up fabric for bags. But yeah, how cute is that? So cute. And then this is a little bit, like 3 of them are kind of along the same lines. This is a little bit traditional. I just loved the fabric. I saw this piece and I thought, oh my gosh, that'll make a gorgeous bag. I would really like that. And so I picked up this piece to line it So won't that be pretty? I just think that'll make a great bag. And like I said, I think all of these probably enough to make 4 of them. Arguably, I might keep one of each for my own. I don't know, depends. And then I went over and looked at the Tula Pink. And of course, there's all sorts of amazing options for bags there. So the first thing that I was drawn to was these deer. And of course, they had it in a different colorway. But this one was just a little bit brighter and just more fun to me. So I picked up enough of this to make 4 bags, and I was just going to line it with this because I thought that was a whole lot of fun. I was really struggling with the linings on these, and it's just, there were so many options. I decided to go a little bit more simple and not crazy. But yeah, so I thought those would make some amazing bags. And then I saw the little squirrels, and again, you know, several different colors that you could choose from. But I wanted to make sure I was different from my little deer and like look at those squirrels. And they're probably upside down. I don't know, maybe not. Look at those squirrels. How cute are those? And to go with the squirrels, I think, no, I think I picked up this. Yeah, okay. I think, I don't know. Now I can't remember what I was thinking. I think I was gonna put this inside the squirrels. No, I think I'm putting this inside the squirrels, maybe. I don't know. I think we're going purple inside the squirrels. So cute. And then I thought I was done. And then I saw the little hedgehog. And you know, it's a little more dainty of a print for a bag, but that's okay. It's a hedgehog surrounded by daisies. I could not leave that there. And I think this is the one that I have picked to go inside the little hedgehog for the lining. So yeah, buying bag stuff, because that's what I need to be doing. So like I said, I am really geeked out by all of this right now and really loving the thought. So I might just get really busy. If not, I'll have a lot of fabric. I already have a lot of fabric, but like I said, if any of those really strike your fancy, let me know, drop me a comment, save me from putting them up on Etsy or starting a whole Etsy site and any of that. Okay, at this point, we are moving into life update because like I said, ungodly long, already ungodly long. So I really haven't been doing much of anything, honestly. Just kind of recovering from company, and company was wonderful and great, but just kind of recovering from company. Just getting ready to go back to work. It's going to be here before you know it. Some stuff has kind of started already that I need to do, and I'm trying not to spend the rest of my summer mourning going back to work. So yeah, we've got that going on. My mom is going to come visit in real quick. Just a quick overnight. And that's not till August, so I'll see you guys before that. But she's coming in. It seems to me like there's other things going on that I'm just not remembering right now. Yeah, I don't know. Coolest thing that happened, though. This absolutely made my day. I think it made my week, honestly. So, I've had lots of comments on my glasses that I wear on these videos. I have lots and lots and lots of different pairs of glasses. I have ones that I wear just for stitching that are more magnifying, and then ones that are more regular, like every day. And these are by far my favorite glasses I have ever bought. They are old. They're like I don't know if they're 15. They might be 15 years old. I don't know. They're old. They're old. Maybe not quite 15. Trying to think how long. And Matt, who fills my prescriptions for me, he knows me really well. I've known him for years and years and years. And whenever I'm going to go get new glasses, I just walk in and he reaches in a drawer and he has things that he's picked out just for me because he knows that I'll love them. And this was one of them. And my daughter loved them so much, she got a pair also. And it was a very long time ago. They're a Humphreys frame. And they're great because they're iridescent and they reflect and they're fun. And I think I have said on FlossTube before, or maybe maybe I've told other people in the comments who've asked me about them. They actually came in another colorway also. So these kind of go, depending upon light, blue, green, sometimes you see some purple in them, but there was a pair that was like pink, yellow, orange also. Okay. So there was another colorway. And I wish I would have got them because I love them. And I'm always getting like new lenses if I need to for them so I can continue to wear them. Well, I brought my son in for his eye appointment, and I think we were picking up my husband's glasses or something. And I got talking to Matt, and I was just like, yeah, my appointment's coming up, be on the lookout. You know what I like, da 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 da. And then I was like, I want something like, I know you're not gonna be able to find these or anything like this, but along these lines, like, that pair of iridescent ones, they're my absolute favorite ever. I just really would love something else, like kind of like that. It doesn't need to be the color, like just something like, and he was like, oh, really? He's like, you got the blue green ones, right? And I said, yeah. And he's like, huh. And he walks into the back room and he pulls out a pair of the pink, yellow, orange ones that he has. And I want to say it's probably 13 years ago, easily, if not 15. And he's like, yeah, it was too late. I couldn't bring them back. I couldn't send them back. And I knew someone would want them someday. And I was just like, yeah, and that person would be me. And he's like, oh, well, I'll cut you a good deal on them. So I'm going to end up with matching glasses in a different colorway, which makes me so happy. Yeah, I can't remember what else. It's just been boring. It's been boring. It's been hot, like crazy, stupid hot. And we have conditioned air, and that is where I stay. Stitching, dreaming of bags, shopping, clearly. That's what my life has been. Nothing else really new. Okay, I'm gonna call it here because this is crazy long already. It's almost probably close to as long as my WIP parade. Okay, thank you guys for hanging in. If you haven't done so, please subscribe, ring the bell, do all those things. Thanks for joining me, and I will see you next time. Oh, wait, we need an emoji. No, we don't need an emoji because you guys will leave a comment because you want to win stuff, right? Okay, we'll see you later.